Greetings lovely viewers, welcome to Whisk Bake, because we're making cake with Chef FPBN. My name is Patrick Ngowese and I go by the name Chef FPBN, and welcome to my kitchen where I have unpacked a wonderful journey for you which will basically take you from the insides of a culinary kitchen straight into your kitchen. Today I'm going to be making for you one of my favorite desserts, which is the peppermint crisp tart. And alongside with this, with the very same ingredients that you would actually gather to make that dessert, we're going to make a second dessert. What is that dessert? I'll only reveal the name once we make it. So let's get baking. The ingredients that we will need to make the peppermint crisp tart are the forever silky caramel treat, the party favorite tennis biscuits. You'll also need whipping cream, be careful not to get cooking cream. And you'll also need peppermint flavored chocolate. Alright, let's get cooking. We're just gonna focus now on grating our chocolates. Let's get baking. So basically what we're going to have to do first is to make a caramel cream, where we're going to make use of our whipping cream and our caramel. What we have to do here is firstly put our whipping cream into our mixing bowl, and then we're going to utilize our whisk bake, because we're making cake. We're going to utilize our whisk to whip the cream for about a minute or so, just to get to soft peak texture. But I'll show you a clip of that when I start doing it. And then we'll just add in the caramel. So let's bake. Okay, our cream is ready now. As you can see, we've taken it up to a soft peak stage. So what we refer to when we talk about a soft peak stage is that when the cream just starts to get hard, but you don't want it to get too fluffy, because what we want to do with this dessert is that the cream, as it's in the fridge, we want it to actually absorb and it creates like a bond of flavors with the biscuits. So that's why we actually take it up to this stage. Do not whip it more than this. And then what I'm going to do now is just add the caramel into the cream, then take it back into the whisk bake, because we're making cake. Take it back to the whisk, whip it up a little bit more just to infuse it with the caramel so that we can have a caramel cream. Let's get cooking. Alright. So I'm just going to take in 2 spoons. Or 3, because I just love that sugar. And back to the whisk. Now that our cream is done whipping, that is the final result. So all we have here is just our cream and our caramel whipped to perfection and whipped according to your desires. Always have a spoon nearby to taste your dessert, because this is the stage where you control the sweetness. If you desire it to be sweeter at this stage, just add more caramel. If you feel that it's perfect, then yeah, you've done a great job. I think like a chef, excuse me. Great job done. What we want to do is just take out half of this cream and just set it aside later for the other dessert, and then we'll continue with our original dessert for today, which is the peppermint crisp tart. Now that our caramel cream is ready, we are ready to mix it in with the peppermint crisp chocolates. So once again, this is the stage where you can actually just personalize your dessert. How much flavor are you actually aiming for determines how much chocolate you actually end up putting into your mix. So this is where you can apply your creativity hat, add a personal touch, and yeah, just mix it in gently with the spoon. And once it is all fully mixed in, then you're ready to actually compile the entire dessert. What we'll be doing when we're compiling the desserts, we're going to be taking our bowl to serve. So we're going to put in a layer of biscuits, then it's going to be followed up by a layer of cream, then it's going to have a layer of caramel, and then we're just going to repeat the process again and finish it off with chocolate on top. And there it is, you've got your traditional peppermint crisp tart. So let's go ahead and start with the layering. So I'm just going to put in a little bit of cream just to hold it at the bottom so that the biscuits don't slide around. Just a nice fair layer like that is okay. And then you want to keep the biscuits as chunky as possible, because the magic really comes to life with this dessert when it's sitting in the fridge and the biscuits actually melt into the cream, and the cream is absorbed by that biscuit, and it gives it like almost like a cake-like texture. So that's why you actually don't want to crush up the biscuits too much. It is better just to keep them whole, just to get more bit of a substance into your dessert. Then we're going to add in a little bit more cream. And then we're just going to spread it around evenly like that. And then what I've done here is a little fun tool, which is a piping bag. And I'll be teaching you how to make piping bags in one of the videos to follow. But for now, we're just going to go into the utilization of it. It does make life a whole lot easier when you can actually portion accurately as to exactly where you want your caramel to be. If you can do it with the spoon, but it will just be a little bit more difficult. And then I'm just going to do nice ziggly lines like that. And this is how I get an extra caramel taste into my dish. So what happens now, we repeat the process again. So some more biscuits. And basically there is no wrong and right way. If you did choose to break up your biscuits in the beginning, or you open the packet of biscuits and you found them all smashed up, you just carry on with it. There's no right, there's no wrong way to do your favorite dish. And there we go, that's another layer of the peppermint crisp caramel cream. And then at this stage, just for the fun of it, I can sprinkle in a little bit more chocolate. Once again, this is preference, so depends how chocolatey do you want your dessert. Whoopsie, my bowl is starting to dance, it's getting excited, it's about to be delicious. And then we're adding just some more caramel. This will really come into life when you start scooping into it. Oh, I cannot wait. Just those layers of caramel sitting in the middle of everything. This is why I love desserts. It guarantees a smile at the end of the dish. And once again, will be our last layer. When it comes to how many layers of biscuits and cream, literally depends on your size of the bowl that you have. So you can make 6 layers if you want. You can make this in a cake ring, where you can add more layers and actually make it into a cake if you don't want to have it as a dessert. The options are there available, it's all up to you. So this will be my final layer of cream that I'm putting on now. Bit of a squiggle just to make it look a little bit rustic, so we don't go too neat with it. And then for our finishing touch, back to the grating. Ooh. Chocolate is all happy to be all over the place. And basically we can say voila, that's your peppermint crisp tart ready. But I'm just going to add a little bit of caramel to mine. Once again, those little bits of chunks of chocolate just to finish it off. And to everyone that has baked along with me, this is the peppermint crisp tart. So all we're gonna do now is put this into the refrigerator to rest for 6 hours or even overnight as preferred, just for the flavors to settle, just for the cream to absorb in with the chocolate so that you do get a nice texture. If you do attempt to eat it now, what happens is your biscuits will slide off each other because they're still just a little bit too crunchy, so you do want them to get a little bit soggy and the dish holistically to become one. So put this in the fridge for 6 hours, then we're good to go. And finally, it is time to reveal all surprises. What is the extra dessert that we are doing today? Well, we are doing a banana and ginger pudding. So what we'll need for this is the cream, the caramel cream that we made earlier. We're going to need our sliced bananas. Then this is our ginger biscuits, which we've just chopped up. And then yet again, our caramel just for additional flavor. So to compile this dessert, ultimately we're just going to do a little layer of the cream, then the biscuits, then the bananas, then caramel, then alternate those layers, and then finish it off with some more biscuits on top. So let's get to constructing. Let's bake. So first and foremost, this is my caramel cream, just a little bit at the bottom just to hold the biscuits so that they don't slide around when you put them in and you try to assemble your second layer. So this is called like your foundation or your glue stage, if you may call it. And then just have a nice fair sprinkle of your ginger biscuits. Try to get them as flat as possible, but also you do sorry. But also you do wanna just get as much of them in there as possible. Then you can just layer them down. And then a nice arrangement of your bananas, which are currently then soaking in lemon water so that they do not change color. And once again with this as well, you just want the cream and the biscuits to form a relationship in the fridge while they are setting, so that the biscuits do give you more of a cake texture. You have a nice even layer like that. Let's do another one of the cream before we add the caramel. also you might be thinking at this stage, but what happens about the bananas? Will they not turn color? No, basically what needs to happen is bananas would need oxygen in order for them to change color. So when they're exposed to oxygen, that's when they change. But because you are covering them up with cream, that means no oxygen is going to interact with them, so it's as good as they are inside the peels themselves. Not as good, but good enough to keep the reaction of them browning away. So do not worry about it at all. So let's go with the second layer of our cookies. And it looks like I'm just gonna need to make a little bit more. There's many methods in which you can chop up your cookies with. You can put them all in a bowl and then maybe take a glass or a cup and just smash them in, but I just prefer to run a knife through them, chop them up with a knife. It's a method that works for me. There is no right and wrong way to do it as long as we get the job done and it does not affect the overall consistency of the dish. Let's go with another one of the bananas. And basically, the quantity of bananas that you put inside is also where you design the dish yourself. I mean, if you wanted more on the banana-y side, even if you wanted to add like cinnamon to your bananas just for an additional twist, you can, but because we do have a play of ginger in this one, it wouldn't be a necessary stage. And it's time to top up with some more caramel. Once again, there is no right and wrong way to do this. You add as much caramel as you want or as little as you want. It's all up to you. You can even add a sprinkle of salt if you desire that salted caramel taste. And this will be our final layer of cream. There we have it. So if ever you're making a peppermint crisp at home and you feel like, hey, I've got a little bit of extra ingredients left over, then this is an alternate dessert for you to do. Or if you just really want to wow someone within the household or for a party or whatever it is that you're cooking for, then by all means, this is another alternative for a dessert that is definitely gonna bring a smile to someone's face. Some more milk. Let's add a little bit more caramel. Ladies and gentlemen, you have just baked with Chef FPVN. Okay, now that we've given our dessert enough time to settle in the fridge, let's go and take a look and see if it has indeed created that bond that we spoke about earlier, whereby what we're expecting to find now is the cream has been absorbed by the biscuits, so that the biscuits have changed their texture from crunchy into spongy. So that is the expectation that we will look forward to when we cut into our dessert. Everyone says the proof is in the pudding. Let's check it out. With a smile on my face, I present a peppermint crisp tart. Basically, that is how it should be looking, but it also depends on your design. So there is no right and wrong way to do this. You see now, I'm it's the curse of being a chef, or the pleasures of. But there's the peppermint crisp tart. Let's dig in. So generally when I like to dish out my desserts, I always like to scoop out my spoon, just dip it in some water so that the dessert does not stick to the spoon as much, so that you can get a nice clean cut. Just like that. And that is how I would serve the peppermint crisp tart. As you saw how I scooped it out, it was kind of an egg scooping motion, whereby when the spoon hits contact with the dessert, it actually forms like an egg shape, so that you can actually look like it was made with a professional cutter. So professionally, this is a technique that we use for plating whenever we want to actually take a dessert from home and put it into the restaurant. So, time for tasting. Let's have a sit down for this one. It tastes almost exactly, but just better than the first time I had it at the age of 9. And yeah, that is the story of when I got to first meet this dessert. And let me say, for a kid to meet such a sophisticated balance of flavor, it was really mind-blowing to me, although I didn't understand it because I didn't understand food at the time. But that was one of the signals that I had in life, that I have a relationship with food. So the first place I actually tasted this from was from a local cafe, which was up the road from where I stayed. And yeah, every month end I used to ask my mother, please, that tart with the caramel, because I didn't even know the name of it. So when I became a pastry chef, the simplicity of this dessert was mind-boggling to me, to the extent that I actually told the chef that taught it to me that no, this cannot be the dessert that I love so much. It cannot be this simple to make. So sometimes it just goes to say, things that are divine do not lie in complications. Sometimes the simplicity is actually, the best balance that one could find. So this has been one of my favorite desserts. I make it every now and then, to the extent that I once had an opportunity to travel with the #1 citizen of South Africa, and this was the dessert I actually chose to make for him and his audience at the time, which was all the world economic leaders. And my attempt at that time was just to highlight our local flavors and what we South Africans eat. So it was an attempt to put what South African taste profile is on a global stage. So I've taken it all the way to such great platforms, to your kitchen basically. So do enjoy every time you make this, and remember where you learned it from. It is time for me to say my goodbyes and end this episode. So continue to bake with me, Chef FPBN. My name is Patrick Ngobese. We shall see you around on this channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Whisk, bake, because we're making cake. Chef FPBN. And basically, this is the dish up time.